It smells delicious except for the smell of these balls.
Skip2mylou, my darling.
Hi guys, it's Lou. Today we're going to do a full face of first impressions. So basically I'm going to put a face full of makeup on with products that I have never tried before. I will start off by saying that I purchased a lot of makeup and I wanted it to be sort of a mix of higher end as well as drugstore makeup. Now you'd think that I would know which items are cruelty free and which aren't, but no, I don't, and I didn't, and the stuff that I brought home and figured out wasn't, I am not going to use. Everything I'm using today is cruelty free. That also means there's going to be a couple pieces missing. I will substitute those missing items with something else that I've probably used, and of course I will also give you my first impression secondly on how I feel about it. So I'm going to put my hair up in a very fashionable scrunchie. I'm starting out with moisturizer on my face, and I was going to try a primer, which I don't normally do anyway, but it's not cruelty free, so we are omitting that. The brand, I was so surprised at how many brands are not cruelty free, and I believe those were Revlon, L'Oreal, Almay, Soap and Glory, and another brand that Target has just come out with. So I didn't really figure it out or think about it until now that we should all only purchase cruelty-free makeup. Okay? I'll do it if you do it. I am going to start with foundation, and the one that I chose merely because it smelled so good. All right, maybe that's not why. It's Tutti-Frutti Do You, Do Me. Full coverage, fresh glow foundation infused with juicy watermelon and fresh cucumber. I'm thinking that's what made it smell so good. But anyway, I purchased this at TJ Maxx, so it's not brand new or anything. Well, it's newly purchased, but it's not new on the market. So it's not like they have a big display of all the shades that you have to choose from. So I chose Swan, and there was another one called Snow. I got the lightest one. Not because it was the lightest one, but because it just seemed like the best shade. You know, the whole yellow pink thing. I also got some balls. Brush crush, meaning, you know, makeup brush crush, because they're balls, beauty blender balls. So you guys know that I don't use beauty blenders, but you know, we're trying out new stuff, so I figured, why not? Did anyone play marbles as a kid? Ooh, one smaller than the other. Isn't that how they all are? I did at recess, where you dig a little pit for the marbles to go in and they have to hit each other. I was a nerd. All right, so anyway, there's what that looks like. And I think what I'll do instead of shove it in your face is maybe put a picture somewhere on the screen. It smells delicious except for the smell of these balls. So this is why I don't use a beauty blender, is it takes a long time and all it does is punch you in the face really softly forever. So we're going to use a flat brush instead. There it is. So either I didn't squeeze enough on the brush or it's just not spreading very far. That's what he said. Makeup with the word do in the name kind of gets me too, because as somebody with dry, mature skin, being dewy sounds like a dream. I think the color is good and I think the coverage is good, but not the dewy finish that I was expecting and that I actually saw when I put some right here at the store. But for now, good enough. Next is concealer, and this is Pixie by Petra. The first time I ever saw this brand was at Target, but they sell it at other fine establishments. This is Illuminating Tint and Conceal. Wait, this is weird. So it's got a little ball at the top that I thought was like spongy material. I need to look into this further. So I'm thinking the hard stuff on the top is the concealer. Oh my. I just squirted right out of there. What shall we do with this? So this is the Tinted Moisturizer, so let's just cake stuff on my face. It's got 20 SPF, which is always a good thing. And since that was the moisturizer part, it kind of just thinned out the do you that I put on my face beforehand. That's okay. So I don't know that I would want to use a stick concealer under my eyes, but I'm gonna. So since this is a solid concealer, I'm gonna use a ball to blend it in. Eyeshadow. This palette is from BH Cosmetics. It is Opalescent Ethereal, like an opal illusion. So I am going to put flitter on the whole lid and then sequin on the bottom part and then highlight with star. So this particular eyeshadow is not crumbly, but kind of dry and with a lot of fallout. It's not that, velvety feeling. It's more like dust. One thing I did not purchase, I guess I didn't even think about, was contour. I am just going to use the one that I always use. You guys have seen this before. It's Milani Dual Stick. Highlighter on one end, contour on the other. I don't use this end. But since we've got such a pale mess going on right now, I really think that we have to do it. And Milani is cruelty-free and pretty inexpensive. I started contouring my nose only, well, when I found out that people contour their nose. And I tried, making the lines with a stick. It's just too much, so I use my finger and just kind of lightly brush over on each side. And then I define those little dimples. Oh my. All right, let's throw on some eyebrows with this, and it's Milani Brow Fix Kit. So here's a little set, the teeniest tweezers you've ever seen, which I'm not going to use. An eyeshadow brush for the brow part. Let's just do that now. Whoa. I'm actually putting a little bit on top of my eyebrow. It comes with a little angled brush, but I have one that has a handle, so we're going to use that instead. The second step is this one, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that, but I'm going to put my glasses on right now and find out. It's all about the dark color anyway. This is light, this kit. I actually prefer darker, but this appears to be very much dark enough. And I like it. It is actually coloring the brows on my face, the little that I have, rather than just my skin, which is what I'm used to. Yep, I like it. I would buy it again. The only pain in the ass that I can see right now is if I decide to put these back in here, I have to put them in the little flappy. I didn't sign up for that. Next, we're gonna do eyeliner. The CoverGirl eyeliner that I already had. Here goes nothing. So the actual wing is the tough part, and I'm gonna wait for this to kind of dry before I draw those on, because when you have hooded or droopy eyelids, you can draw that wing and it just disappears under the folds. So what I'm gonna do while I'm waiting for that to dry is line my lips with the same stuff I did my eyebrows with. Now I need both hands to do this, which sucks. It's like drawing on leather. Now the mascara situation. I was all excited because I found Wonder 2, and it's not the one that actually puts some tint on your eyelashes. It's one where it acts like eyelash extensions. We'll see. But I also bought Laura Geller mascara, GlamLASH. So I thought it would be fun to try this fancy stuff on one side and this also fancy stuff on the other, just to see if there's a difference. And let's start with the more difficult of the two to apply. If you can see that, blue and black. What's happening? Oh, look at that. What? I don't get it. So when you stick it back in here, how do you know the blue goes to the blue? I really need to look into this. Two formulas in the same tube that blend together seamlessly on application to create false lash effect. Okay, it's weird because I do see the blue, but apparently it's actually clear. And it is thick. I don't know about eyelash extensions, but Laura Geller, you're next. Now this is one of those very short haired brushes. I've seen some that are just ridged sticks. Okay. The difference between the two is not even noticeable. Now we are going to go to the sort of blush and highlighter. This is from Korres. No, not the beer. It's the Draping Palette Trio. Blush, highlighter, and bronze. And here's what that looks like. Something gonna fall out. Yeah. So we're gonna use this for highlighter. And lastly, another Pixie item, and this is lip gloss. And this is sort of a gold color. And I think that's it. I think we are finished. So let's go over each of these products, and I will give my first impression, starting with the Too Faced Tutti-Frutti Do You Foundation. Not dewy. Good coverage. It might just be a situation of trial and error. I may need a little more practice with this stuff to get it right and to get it to cover the way I want it to. And originally when I smelled it in the store and smelled the watermelon cucumber, it was really nifty, but when I'm actually putting it on my face, it's a little bit smelly. But I think I've said it before, I'd rub poop on my face if it made me look prettier. I'm trying to go in order. So the Pixie concealer and moisturizing tint, again, I would put the moisturizer on first, then the foundation, if it were to be this, and go underneath my eyes with what faked me out as a little spongy top, but is actually hard. Another item I feel like I would need to use more than once to give an honest opinion on, but my first impression is maybe. Eyeshadow. This BH Cosmetics Opalescent palette. I really like the colors. That's one of the reasons I purchased it, is because they're kind of boring like I am, with the exception of some jazzy purple and a peach. The texture it wasn't velvety. I think that when I used the sequin color, it wasn't as pigmented as I would have liked it to be, and as the other palettes from BH Cosmetics have been in the past. I would give it about, I don't know, 6 out of 10. Maybe next time I use it, it will be a 7. Maybe. The eyebrows. Yes. The powder. Even if I only use a third of this brow palette, the color, even though this is the light one, is perfect for me, and it doesn't just stain my skin, it covers the eyebrow hair. I'll mention again, this is also Milani, and it was my contour stick, and usually always is. I love this stuff. CoverGirl eyeliner, I will put down below exactly what this is, but the tip, the marker part, is too long on this. In fact, I could probably just cut it, but it's so long that I feel like it flops around on my saggy eyelids. The formula itself is good. It does last, and the consistency is good. It dries fast. It's just the tip. This palette, I chose a coral color because sometimes I have a peachy tone. I think that this color is probably the only one that works for me. Do you like how I'm putting on each piece as I'm reviewing it? Again, 6 out of 10. I didn't give these numbers, but I think you know how I feel about them. The mascaras, let me have a little peek. They look exactly the same. I don't feel like this one has wrong one. Extensions on it, but all in all, they made my lashes thicker and darker. All right, I had to do a quick interruption. I've already finished the video, but I actually do see that the Wonder 2 Extensions mascara has made my eyelashes appear to be longer. Sometimes when you look too close up, you can't see much. That doesn't make sense, but when I looked in the mirror, I can see it. Anyway, moving on. I may change my mind about liking these when I remove it, the mascara, because sometimes it can be easy and sometimes I look like somebody beat me up and I can't seem to get it off. Lip gloss. It's not like MAC lip gloss would be, which I love that stuff. It's very thick. My hair gets caught into it. This is thinner, does not smell bad, actually smells pretty good, and is a medium consistency. So I like it. It's just sort of a nude shimmer that I like. What about these guys? I think the balls were useful for the under eye concealer, but I couldn't see doing my entire face of foundation with one of these. I don't have the patience. So what do you guys think of the products that I used today? Have you guys used any of them, and what is your opinion if you have? Does it differ from mine? Is it worse? Is it better? And if you feel like it, put down below what your very favorite makeup product is. And if there are any you would like me to try and do a video on it, put it down below as well. For now, that's it for this video on full face of first impressions. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already subscribed but would like to be, please hit that button down below and you'll see me very soon with more videos. Bye guys.